Hello everyone, it's Carla again from Casey Creates, and I'm here continuing with my creations for my primitive old world Christmas tree, making the decorations for it. So today I'm going to work on the cinnamon ornaments that you make out of ground cinnamon. And it's a pretty simple recipe, but I thought I would just try to mix it up here on the video, on a video for you. It calls for 3 simple ingredients: ground cinnamon, applesauce, and Elmer's glue. The only thing is I'm going to add a little bit of ground ginger too. I thought that might help give it a nice smell. There's several recipes online, and some call for nutmeg and allspice, and but I'm just going to do the 2, cinnamon and ginger. It calls for a ½ cup of the white Elmer's glue, or just white glue. I didn't see my ½ cup measure so that I could grab it quickly. So I'm going to do 2 1/4 cups. However, I think I want to pour it into the, well, it's okay. Let's just go ahead and put the glue in first. I was thinking if I poured the glue on top of the cinnamon, it wouldn't get too stuck, but it's okay. So we're going to do a ½ cup of white glue. In my case, it's Elmer's glue, Elmer's school glue, and I'm just doing 2 1/4 cups to make a ½ cup. So it's just the white school glue. And it has been many years since I made these, but I like anything that's got a slightly doughy consistency, of course. I love making rolled sugar cookies and cutting them into different shapes. I'm sure it has everything to do with the fact that I'm a potter and I love working with clay. Okay, so I've got the ½ cup of glue. Then it calls for a 1/4 cup of applesauce. So I've just got one of these little individual serving applesauce, and I'm going to see how much that makes. That is right there. So this is probably a ½ cup, but it called for a 1/4 cup of applesauce. And then it calls for 1 full cup of cinnamon. So let's see how much this container equals. Ooh, overshot a little bit. Overshot a lot of it. Okay, so that is a little more than ½ cup. And then I want to do just a 1/4 cup of the ginger. And 1 more 1/4 cup will equal a full cup. So I've got that. You know what? Here's a little secret. Not really, but I was looking for the ground cinnamon at the Dollar Tree, and they're down to this size now at the Dollar Tree. But they were all out, so I went to Aldi, and the same 2.5 ounces was only 79 cents. I'm sorry, 2.3 ounces. So I got a better deal buying them at Aldi, and I picked up several, because if this turns out, I wouldn't mind doing it another batch, but I'm just gonna do 1 batch for now. Move him on to something else, and let's stir it up and see what we get as far as a consistency for dough. It might need a little more moisture when it's all said and done. You're supposed to put it in between 2 pieces of wax paper and then cut them out to whatever shape you like. It's mixing pretty well. I'd recommend using the rubber spatula just to really get underneath it and scoop it. I suppose if you like your hands messy, this would be a fun thing to do. It seems pretty sticky still. I don't know if that means I should add more or give it time to rest, but that seems a bit too sticky. I don't want to run the risk of making it too dry though either, because I don't want it to crumble, but I think the glue is a bit of a stabilizer to help to keep their shape. But let's go ahead and add a little more cinnamon. There are recipes to do this with part salt dough, but I want all cinnamon because I imagine that's going to make them smell even stronger. Yeah, this could be one of those doughs where it just needs a little time to rest and absorb, but I think that really helped. Yeah, it smells so good. Dough made strictly from cinnamon. There's a little knife here. Let's scrape it off some. Okay. So I'm going to get under this and get it into one ball and then put it in between my parchment paper. So all I'm going to do now is turn this out onto my parchment paper. Where do I want to put this? I'm going to put it out of the way. There we go. I'm trying to see how it feels. Interesting. Oh, it's not bad. But I think I'll just go ahead and make it into a bit of a rectangle and then roll it. And for some reason I can't find my smooth rolling pin. I have this decorative one, but I don't think the texture probably won't show through since I'm rolling it on with parchment paper in between. So my biggest decision is simply going to be, what shape do I want? I don't want a menagerie of different shapes. I want to keep the tree that I'm creating very simple as far as the shapes, and not too many to look at. Like, I'm kind of thinking all the cinnamon ones will be one shape, all the music note ones will be one shape, to keep it a little more uniform. I really want to stretch these out some. I'm not sure how thin they can be before they're too thin, but I'm assuming if there's the glue and I'm only doing a small to medium shape, they should remain pretty sturdy. It is just like rolling cookie dough or clay. I'm just going to try to stretch it just a little bit more in every direction. Okay. And then I'm going to flour my cutter. Well, not flour it, but put a little cinnamon on the surface. Ooh. It really stuck to the other sheet. I might save that. Okay, so I'm going to say that's about 8 inches in diameter. I kind of like that texture on top. Instead of it being smooth, I think I'll leave it. And I'm going to get a little bit of this cinnamon and put it on the back of here. Maybe flour it a little bit. I say flour it because it reminds me of flouring the surface of your cookie dough. I'm cinnamoning and ooh, I can't even say that. Cinnamoning it. So the reason I'm doing each ornament one step at a time is because I really wanted to enjoy all of the processes that I'm going to put into making the tree. But then I do have to remind myself, don't get too involved. I don't want to make it that serious. So I've got this vintage old angel ornament. I don't know if you can see that. Sorry about the glare. So that's an option. And then I found these on a really good clearance at Joann Fabrics. I love the maple leaf. But again, I'm thinking I want to keep it more holiday theme. I have this size of a gingerbread man. And then I have this star, and I like this star better than the star I used for my, they're varying sizes, so you just pop them out. I like it because the points are a little bit sharper. So I may do gingerbread and stars. But for now, let's just get started cutting out the little gingerbread men. Let's see. I hope they don't stick. Give it a little jiggle. Yeah, they are definitely sticking. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to turn it out onto the floured side. And peel it off that way. And I hope I can peel it off without it tearing apart. So I think in my case I may have just needed to add a little more cinnamon. It is coming apart though, so that's a good sign. Takes a little patience. Smells like a yummy spice factory in here. Well, the cinnamon anyway. And get this completely off. Slowly but surely. There we go. Okay, let's try this again. I'll try cutting it. Let me add a little more cinnamon on top. I'm glad I bought extra bottles. And if I make a second batch, I'll follow the same liquid ingredients and just add more cinnamon. Okay. Clean my fingers off a little. I'm going to try it again. I started cutting one here. See if I can get it back in that general area. Okay, I think this will work much better. Here's our first guy. Oh, they're coming out nicely. So when I rolled them between the parchment paper, the moisture really came out onto the parchment paper and made them very sticky. So you'd probably want to flour the surface or coat the surface with some cinnamon. Probably wouldn't hurt if you didn't want to use cinnamon to just use flour. But now they're releasing really well. And I'm getting several. Ooh, he came right out. His foot got a little mangled, but it's okay. I think I can get 2 more. I'm gonna try. I wonder if I can ball up the scraps without it getting too sticky. I'm gonna try it. I'm really wanting to do this on camera, so I don't have as much workspace as I would typically have. Okay, I love it. You know what though, I need a little straw or something for the holes. Let's ball this up. It is allowing me to just ball it up like dough without being too sticky. Can you see that? Okay. I'm going to shape it into a log again, that way I can hopefully roll it with more length. And let's put this down. Roll it again. See how many more we can get. Oh, I may have gotten this one a little too thin. Oops, I did it again. So if you don't put enough cinnamon, it really will get a little too thin. Let's see here. I've just rolled it using this Christmas cardstock. So I can print another one of those. So next time I'll use parchment. Okay, so that was a bit of a faux pas, but I got it back together. So you see, it's a little bit of a fussy thing if you don't have your dough to the right consistency, but it's not impossible. I'm going to flip it over. Got way too sticky. So bear with me, guys. Girls. Alright. You probably don't need to see me do this part, but let's just follow through to the end. We'll get these guys cut out. And, you know, let's see, I've got 9 so far. If I get a dozen, I'll be pretty happy with it. That's 10 actually. So this is 11. Look at, it's nice and smooth on the other side. I'm gonna flip him over. And I think 12 would be a nice amount to start with for my tree. See, is he on there? Yeah, I got a full one that time too. Okay. Oh, I guess his foot did get a little chopped. We'll fix that. And we'll get him off, or her, depending. I'm not going to decorate them with, you know what, I actually am. I'm going to put cloves, whole cloves where their eyes go. I think that'll look really nice and primitive. But instead of doing the white piping that you do for like the collar and the buttons and, you know, the little trim on the cuff and the foot, basically, I just don't want them to look too cutesy. I want them to look sort of basically basic. I'm going to go ahead and roll him out again. See if I can use this parchment paper instead. Maybe it won't stick as badly. Yeah, I think that'll be better. And I would go ahead and just roll it, but I've got my textured roller here, and I don't want texture. Go this way. Okay. So I'm going to continue. Let's see, I might as well persevere until I get as many from this batch as possible. So I'll go ahead and add a little more cinnamon. And flip it over. And add a little more cinnamon. It's quiet in my house. It's Saturday morning, and my poor husband works the late shift, and he's not resting. Hopefully he's sound asleep. My older son's already, not older, youngest son's already gone to their final band competition. They're at state, which I will be traveling to in a little bit. But I thought it would be good to come on and get my ornaments cut out so that I can have them in the oven drying. And I'm just going to leave them at 170 degrees for a few hours. I also want to put in another batch of oranges. I think I can get one more guy out of this. Yeah, so it's a nice quiet Saturday morning. And I love getting the morning started early. Some mornings I'm just pooped and don't feel like it, but I rarely sleep past 7 a.m. That's okay, the texture's not showing up too bad. Alright, so let's cut one more of these guys out. It's too bad you can't eat this, because it sure smells good enough to eat. But I wouldn't dare eat it with the glue. Thankfully it's not toxic, so if a kid accidentally tucked some in their mouth, it wouldn't hurt them. So I'm going to slide these over and fit this young man in. I keep saying man, I don't know what they are. They're gingerbread boys. Some of them got a little texture. See, if you push this cutter, then it gets the imprints. But I don't want the imprints on these. So I'm gonna, and then the last thing I want to do, well, first I cleaned up all my mess. Oops, I forgot a thing of ginger. I rinsed everything out because of the glue. I didn't want anything to get too stuck. And now I eked out every bit of the cinnamon dough that I could. So I made a few stars. I think I'm just gonna be a little putsy here and sit and do the holes. And I'm just making the holes with a short piece of a drinking straw. And I don't mind the holes on the top of the gingerbread man's head because I'm going to string it with some hemp, not hemp, jute twine. However, I'm going to leave a few because I think I'm not going to do that. I'm going to just glue the twine to the back. Let me go back in with this one and make sure the hole cut all the way through. I think it did. Yeah. That one might crack, but that'll be okay. Yeah, I think I'll like it better without the hole. I'll just glue a loop to the back because they're pretty, they're not that heavy. So I think it'll hold the weight. Sorry guys, you have a hole in your head. So I'm going to put little cloves in for their eyes. Uh-oh, it looks like they might be too long. I'm going to get a pair of scissors and cut some of this off. Oh, these are going to be so cute. Oh, they smell really good. So I'm just going to give them these little whole cloves for the eye. I think cloves are the stamen of a flower, if I'm correct. They kind of look like it anyway. I could go ahead and use the cloves for the buttons. In the old world cookie decorating, these are some of the things they used. Spices for decorating. And this is the time of year coming upon Thanksgiving when you can find spices a little more reasonably priced. But you know, things like really good vanilla extract, I only buy, oh, that one's not, I don't like the way that one looks. It's a weird looking one. You have to like be prepared because it's expensive. I buy really good vanilla once a year for my holiday baking. And it lasts a good long while. I mean, I only use pure vanilla extract, but the ones I use during the holiday are the really nice ones. Otherwise, I just go with a brand like McCormick or something, and it tastes just fine. Okay. I was trying to talk myself out of putting the little buttons down their front with little pieces of cloves, but it ended up looking so cute that I decided I should do it. Just one more little putsy process that I think I'll like in the end. And I thought I could probably glue these on later, but seeing that there's such a good amount of glue in this dough, if it bakes with them in the inserted before, I think they'll stick better. I'll have an easier time getting them on because they kind of have a little tip on the end of them, and that's what I've been spending time snipping off so I can get them to lay a little flatter. But I think they look so cute with the buttons that I thought I'll go ahead and take the time and put them in. It looks so really, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I love the old, kind of old-fashioned look that they get. I also think they resemble raisins, which my mom read us the Gingerbread Man story. Can't catch me, I'm the Gingerbread Man. Anyway, the buttons on him were made from raisins. And these look a little bit like dried raisins. I don't know if I've snipped enough of these off. Here, I'll show you the container. It's just like whole cloves. It came from Walmart. And they were really reasonable, like $1.97 or something. And it's what people stick in ham to flavor the ham. Have you ever seen the ham with the pineapple slices and the maraschino cherry and then the cloves? It's also a way to decorate orange slices and oranges. They make a pretty little garnish on all kinds of things. I'm actually going to slice a few more oranges for my orange ornaments. I think I did 2 oranges and I feel like one more will be just right. So I don't know if the oranges will give off any more scent when they're hanging on the tree or not. It sure would smell good with all of the spices and the orange. Looks like I need to snip just a few more. So I just have a pile of the little end pieces here. Those would go good in some potpourri, so I won't throw them away. Simmering on the stove with cinnamon sticks. How many more do I need? Maybe 9, I see. Since I'm putting 3 on each one. Anyway, thanks for visiting with me, you guys. This has been fun, and I hope you've enjoyed the process of me making each ornament step by step. Well, some were garlands. These will be ornaments. And after they're finished baking, I'm going to put a pretty little finishing touch with some either raffia or twine at the top. And I'll come back and show you that. Oh, he needs eyes, doesn't he? He's got buttons and no eyes. And then he needs buttons. I'm almost finished. And 1, 2. 1, 2, and 1 more. Make sure this done, 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 and 1 more button. Awesome. So they're ready to go in the oven. And I hope my family doesn't wake up thinking there's cinnamon bread or something in the oven, because they'll be very disappointed. But I'll be long gone. They'll be fine. Okay, guys, here are my cinnamon dough gingerbread men ready to get baked in the oven. And I'll come back and show you how it goes once they're finished. I'm not sure what my next ornament's going to be. I have to think about that, but I'll let you know. Thanks again for visiting, everyone. Be well, and I'll see you again soon.